Are you being quiet fired? Here are some signs that your company is trying to force you to quit your job. But why would a company try to force an employee to quit voluntarily? Well, that's because anytime a company terminates an employee or fires somebody, it does open them up to potential lawsuits. And any accusation or investigation, even if false or unsupported, can really hurt a company's brand, which can affect their ability to raise funding, or can hurt their stock price, or can hurt their ability to hire people. Plus, companies would need to have extremely strong legal and HR departments as well as very good documentation in order to even fight or support any potential lawsuit. And this is a whole bunch of trouble that companies would just rather avoid. And the first sign that they're trying to push you out is if your manager seems distant or uninterested in your work. Maybe they aren't checking in with you as often, or they don't really ask you what's going on in your role, or if you need help, or if you need support, or they don't even ask you what you've been doing or working on. Now keep in mind, this could also just be a sign that you have a really bad boss who doesn't care about your career goals, but this is still something to keep in mind and make sure that you aren't getting more than one signal. Now the second thing they could do is force you to work on less important or uninteresting projects. Like maybe they've asked you now to maintain a code base, or they've switched you on to the least important product within the company, or maybe they've given you a sales territory that's known to be the worst. If it feels like your company's trying to set you up for failure, then that could be a sign. Now similarly, companies do experience reorgs all the time, and if they reorg you to a new role that you don't really like, or that you know is not going to set you up well, or that you know is not interesting, or that is a job that nobody in the company ever wants, then they could be trying to get you quiet fired. Now keep in mind, they may tell you that the reorg is just due to a shift in business priorities, which could be also true, so you're going to be looking for multiple signs that are in this video. Next, if you get no raise, no bonus, or maybe even just a super small raise or bonus that seems pretty insulting, which is what happened to me at my last company, that could also be a sign that they're trying to get you out. Generally, companies will pay for performance, and they're going to want to pay to keep their top performers so you don't leave and go to one of their competitors and make their competitors more money, right? So if they aren't rewarding you financially, then it shows that they don't really care about you. Now, it's going to vary from industry to industry and from state to state, but you're going to want ideally at least around a 5% raise on your base salary every single year, as well as a bonus on top of that related to your performance. So if you aren't getting these things, then they could be a sign. Next, if your company moves you to a fully remote role which you didn't request for, that could also be a sign that they're trying to push you out. Now, in the beginning, they're probably going to try to word this like it's a good thing, like you don't have to sit in traffic anymore, you don't have a commute anymore, you can have better work-life balance and work-life flexibility because you're fully remote now. But if you didn't ask to go fully remote, this could be a sign that they're trying to isolate you. And they're going to use the fact that you're fully remote now to explain why you aren't able to have a reasonable impact at your job. They may also use this as a reason why you didn't get promoted because some of the senior leaders or the senior decision makers in the promotion process don't know who you are because you're fully remote and you don't come to an office. Another sign to look out for is if they open a job posting that's for the exact same job and level that you do right now. Let's be honest, every time they hire someone new to a job in a company, they're gonna make more than the people who already work there. And so if they knowingly do this and they let you know about it, what they're basically saying is we're trying to replace you. This is especially true if they start to give away some of your projects and work to other people, and they're trying to make your role as minimal as possible. And they're gonna want you to know that they're paying someone else more than you, so that it makes you angry, so that you'd eventually quit and find a new job. Next, if you've noticed you've gotten really good performance reviews for, let's say, the last 2 years, but you still aren't able to get promoted for whatever reasons that the company is giving you, that could also be a sign that they're just trying to frustrate you enough to leave and find a new company. Now, this next sign that they're trying to force you to quit only applies to folks who have hourly roles, but let's say you get a change in your schedule that you didn't ask for. Like maybe they give you the graveyard shift, or they start to reduce your hours down so that you actually don't get enough pay or don't qualify for benefits. Next, if your company puts you on a PIP or a performance improvement plan that you don't believe is actually warranted when you actually haven't had any problems with your performance according to your manager, or if your company asks you to take administrative leave, these could both be signs that they're trying to force you out. Now keep in mind, these are very extreme actions that companies would only take if they're truly trying to get you to quit. Now, if you find yourself in either of these two situations, regardless of the reason, I do recommend that you actually start interviewing ASAP. Because it's far better for you to accept a new job offer with a company while you're still in good standings and you don't actually have any type of documentation on record, so that you can actually get a new job without having to say that you were fired. And the company is also hoping that you go ahead and get a new job offer so that you can save face. So whether your PIP or your administrative leave was unwarranted or not, you're still going to want to make sure you're looking for a new job, because this is not going to end well for you or the company if it's made it to this point. So this is how you know if you're trying to be quiet fired and all the signs that the company is trying to force you to quit. And this could mean that you now need to get your resume ready. So you can watch this video right here if you want to optimize your resume for the ATS so you can increase your chances of getting a new job offer and leaving before anything bad happens. Thank you all for watching, and don't be afraid to shake things up.